not newly laid stones. They are ancient, deeply rooted in divine utterances from millennia past. These prophecies speak of covenants, of chosen lineages, and of destinies foretold with unwavering clarity. Father Yah, in his infinite wisdom, laid out a path for his people, Yasharel. This path included trials, tribulations, and ultimately, triumphant redemption. Understanding these foundational prophecies is crucial to comprehending the unfolding events of our current critical era. The words spoken long ago now echo with profound and immediate significance for us. Central to these ancient warnings is the mention of the lands of Esau. These are not merely geographical locations, but symbolic representations of earthly powers. These nations are often depicted as eagles, soaring with pride and earthly dominion across the globe. The scriptures forewarned that these lands, these dominant forces, would be characterized by a profound disbelief. They would turn away from the pure truth of Yah. They would reject his divine word, embodied in Yeshua. This rejection was not a mere oversight, it was a deliberate choice, a path chosen that would have dire consequences. This prophetic knowledge extended to the fate of Yah's chosen people. Father Yah knew with absolute certainty that his elect would find themselves ensnared within these lands of Esau. He understood that because of the prevailing disbelief and the turning away from divine law, his people would suffer. They would be subjected to oppression and hardship. This foreknowledge was a heavy burden, yet it was part of a larger, intricate divine plan. The suffering was foreseen, not as a failure of protection, but as a permitted phase leading to a greater purpose. Therefore, the righteous, the holy ones, were explicitly told not to fear these developments. This instruction was given because the entire sequence was already known to the Creator. The lands of Esau, the eagles of the earth, would indeed stray. They would embrace wickedness, and this evil would spread like a contagion. It would terrorize them and all who chose not to believe in the divine truth. This understanding provides a stark context for the trials that were destined to unfold, a prelude to the great sifting of souls. One of the most poignant prophecies concerns a prolonged period of exile and suffering. This divine forewarning was revealed to Abraham, the patriarch of the chosen. It outlined a future of immense trial for his descendants. They would be sojourners in a land not their own, enslaved and afflicted for 400 years. This period was a test, a refinement, leading to ultimate redemption. The prophetic timeline, specifying 400 years of exile and oppression, finds fulfillment between 1619 and 2019 AD. 1619 marks the entry into prophesied bondage, and 2019 signals its end. This alignment of events with prophecy is a testament to the divine plan. The chosen people, Yasharel and Yehuda, were where scriptures foretold. As the 400-year period concluded, Ezekiel's prophecy of the dry bones began to manifest. This spiritual awakening started around 2017. It marked a shift in spiritual dynamics, signaling the end of oppression. The scriptures speak of a powerful entity, Babylon the Great. She embodies worldly corruption and spiritual infidelity. For ages, she has influenced nations and peoples. Her reign is nearing its end. A new, righteous order is coming. The judgment decreed upon Babylon, the great eagle nation, will be thorough and devastating. Instead, it will be a process, a gradual yet relentless unraveling of its power and prestige. The proud eagle, once soaring confidently in the heights, will find its wings clipped, its flight becoming erratic and doomed. This severe judgment is not arbitrary, nor is it without profound cause. It stems directly and unequivocally from a deep-seated rejection, a rejection of Father Yah, his divine truth, and his manifested word, Yeshua. The lands of Esau, epitomized by this symbolic eagle, consciously chose the path of disbelief. They constructed their societies upon principles contrary to divine instruction. The initial manifestations of this divine judgment will become increasingly apparent. The nations of the earth, which once looked upon the eagle with awe and envy, will witness its decline with shock. As the judgment upon Babylon, the great eagle, intensifies and its structures weaken, a terrifying phenomenon will occur. A pervasive and potent evil will be unleashed upon the earth. This evil finds fertile ground in the spiritual vacuum created by widespread disbelief and the rejection of divine truth. This escalating scourge of evil will bring a specific and horrifying terror to the unbelievers. Those individuals who deliberately turned away from the truth of Father Yah, those who place their entire faith and hope in the failing corrupt systems of Babylon, will find themselves utterly exposed. Fear, raw and unrelenting, will become their constant companion. The ancient prophecies are stark and unwavering in their pronouncements regarding this time. It is foretold that those who never truly believed, those who willingly embraced the deceptions and practices of the harlot system, shall ultimately perish. The divine protection, the sheltering wings of the Most High, are reserved for the faithful, not for those who scorned his call to repentance and righteousness. Judgment will come through many forms, by the sword, by consuming fire, and by unseen terrors that prey upon the soul. The grand tapestry of prophecy reveals specific, measured timelines. One such critical period is clearly defined. It spans 400 years. The years 1619 to 2019 AD mark this significant era. This was the long season of exile and deep affliction for the chosen. This was the time they would spend as sojourners, oppressed on a continent not their own. The beginning of this period saw them brought in chains. The end would see them poised for a great shift.